Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my channel. Today is July 8th and we are doing a daily love and relationship reading. So, yesterday felt like a surge of new energy, but there's still an oscillation back and forth. I feel from coming off the full moon and the eclipse on Saturday the 4th, which was kind of heavy, and I talked to multiple people and them just feeling sad and down, and not necessarily it being about them, but just feeling all kinds of heavy energy in the collective. So there's still an oscillation because yesterday, it also depends on how you're taking care of yourself. I think that's really important right now is self-care. Isn't she beautiful behind me? This is my, what's it called? Partition that represents the seasons. So that's summer. That's why she is there. That's spring. And so then as the seasons change, I will be changing the background anyways. I just think she's so pretty. So yeah, we already have Chariot that fell out, which is Cancer. This represents Cancer in, wait, no. Chariot is Cancer? Yes, I believe so. We're still in Cancer season. So I feel like, so Cancer is a water sign, which is emotional, very deep, feels very deeply. I don't know a lot about Cancer energy. I think I'm going to start doing, possibly starting next month, monthly, astrological sign readings. So doing a reading for each specific sign. But, let me get one more. So 2 7s already came out. So the Chariot is a number 7, which is like a spiritual, it's a very spiritual number. And then the 7 of Pentacles. So 2 7s already, which is also what, like jackpot. It's kind of like good luck. 7s can represent good luck. But what I was getting with these 2 cards is like, even though it doesn't look like there's a lot of movement in this card because they're not moving forward, the Chariot is about movement forward, and it can sometimes be very accelerated, especially for like on your spiritual path or your enlightenment. And then, but so what I was feeling was like after we're being called to slow down and pause, because 7 of Pentacles is about taking a pause, a break, and he's resting to look at what he's working on before picking it up again and continuing to work. So that's like 3D work, so career, money, anything tangible in the 3D world, whatever you're creating. Did I finish a thought? I do that so much. I start talking about another thought in the middle of a thought, and then I don't finish the first one. Whoa, I don't want all those. But there's definitely a need to ground yourself. So that means, however that word, like sometimes meditation, my God, I can't talk. Meditation helps for people with grounding, going outside, being barefoot in the ground, spending time in nature, the beach, on the grass, near the trees, touching, being in nature, gardening, all of that stuff. For me, sometimes just like eating food that grows from the ground, like stuff like potatoes, beets, things like that actually like grow inside the dirt is grounding for me. But just definitely spending out time in nature too. So grounding when you're feeling overwhelmed, like emotionally or spiritually, if you're in your head a lot. Yeah. Surrounding yourself with rocks, crystals, flowers, all those things inside of your house if you have to be inside for a while. Okay, there we go. And the 10 of Pentacles. So there's a lot of, I was feeling very earthy energy, and already we have 2 Pentacles cards that came out. So before I started, when I'm intuitively drawn to which decks I'm going to use, and I was feeling very earthy. So I chose an animal deck, my earth magic deck, my crystal deck. So lots of very earthy. So yeah, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like this movement, so perhaps, sorry, let me get the full message here. With regard to whatever you've been working on, trying to move something forward very quickly, it's like you've either have been recently not forced to pause, but like encouraged to pause and take a break, or that's going to be happening, or it has happened, or it's going to be happening, or it's happening right now. And it has to do with building your perfect life, basically. You know, like living my best life. Like, basically, someone is working very hard and creating everything in their 3D life the way they want it to be. House, car, spouse, career, money, all of the stuff that, you know, as a human, we aspire to have. And it doesn't mean that we are putting our worth and our value in having those things. What I feel like, because this card, like, to me, this is about enlightenment, like moving, like kind of having an accelerated push, or like a mini spiritual awakening. Cause like we have like usually a major spiritual awakening, like one that opens our eyes to our path, to, you know, to where we can't ever go back again. But then we continuously have little mini ones throughout our life after that, to where we continue to grow and evolve. And this to me is like an acceleration, like a push. Like we got a little accelerated push. And what was I saying? Oh, anyways, what I was saying was, you did the spiritual, emotional kind of inner work first, and that's why you're working now on creating all that stuff in the physical world, right? So a lot of people, we try to do things backwards because we're not taught, you know, that it's actually more fulfilling. Like, we're in our society, physical materialism is more celebrated than, like, you know, internal stuff. Emotional processing and being a good person. Like, it's more about money and what I have and what can I acquire. So I feel like, you know, we sometimes get taught to do it backwards, like focusing on what can I, like, just, it doesn't matter, like, just get a good job and just, you know, go to school and get whatever's going to be a good paying job, you know, not really focusing on, like, is this fulfilling me? Is it helping with my growth and my, and all of that. For me personally. Anyways, they're telling me to shut up because I'm talking too much. Okay, I hear you. Anyways, so what my point was, it's not that whoever's listening, you, me, us, is basing our worth on having these material things, but because we've already done the inner work, now it's time to focus on the material things and attracting and calling in and being intentional about how we're living our physical life. Because we've been focusing on our spiritual. The Ten of Swords and the Eight of Wands. So there is something difficult needs to end, something painful. I mean, but the 10 is here already, so I feel like it's like already ended. And it's underneath the Chariot, so I'm feeling like it's kind of like one and the same. When you start something new, something ends at the same time. The beginning is also the end. The end is also the beginning. So there was something very painful you had to leave behind. So this is about, this thing's not coming back, but it was really painful. You said this have 10 swords in this person's back. You've felt betrayed. And it's swords though, because it has to do with our logic and our mind. So maybe it's just like a way of thinking and being, where somebody, you know, allowing people's words or the way that people communicate with us, the way people were towards us in the past, like allowing that to make us feel this, but it allowed us to have an ego death. I feel like this is more like an ego death, which goes along with, like, on our spiritual path. That's what we kind of realize is, and it's not that we want to kill our ego. It's what we want to, an ego death to me means like the death of that being the way that we show up in the world. So we're kind of, it's like switching, basically. We're showing up as our spiritual, our soul, our spiritual higher self, our soul, rather than our ego, physical self that just is like very protective. But it can be very painful because a lot of people are operating with their ego, and that's, you know, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but it's just a matter of is it helping you or hindering you? And in this case, if you've gotten this far, you've realized that operating purely from your ego is not helping you, it's actually hindering you. So then once that cycle is complete, because 10s are about the completion of cycles, we have the 8 of Wands, which is a very quick movement forward. It's also considered the arrows of love. So it can be about communication, but it's passionate because it's wands, which represent fire and creativity and passion. So it can be quick movement forward, like whether it's you communicating something to somebody, or somebody communicating something to you, or a creative project moving forward. So it's underneath the 7 of Pentacles, which was about taking a break from whatever you're working on. So I feel like during that, I feel like the realization is when you're resting and pausing and allowing for basically like releasing our constant focus and constant go, 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 action oriented, driven, you know what I'm saying? Being like that, that's when we realize that the creativity is actually can flow more. I feel like this is more about creativity and our source, our life force energy. And when you're tapping into that, that's when you become more magnetic and you attract. Yeah, and it's also allowing you to see like stability. This can also represent marriage. Oh, look, we have the King of Wands on the bottom. Ha ha ha, he's hiding from us. Is there a King of Wands that's lurking somewhere? Possibly. Watching you and you don't know about it. Or you're the King of Wands, who knows? The Four of Wands is about stability. Fours represent stability, security. This represents marriage. It's also considered the 1111 card, like for twin flames. And it's right underneath the 10 of Pentacles, which is, so I feel like there's marriage or like some kind of commitment when it comes to like with another person, creating home, stability, and all of that. And so, and then the arrows of love are pointing right towards that. So I feel like that's what you're headed towards after you allow this painful cycle to end. But first you have to allow it to end. You kind of have to surrender to it. And that with that, this card too, the 7 of Pentacles, take a pause and realize how to hone and channel your creative energy that allows you to open up more, to be more magnetic. But that means you have to spend time by yourself, actually paying attention to what's happening within you, when you're most creative, how you're most creative, what makes you feel alive, what sources you. That's why I do these readings, because I feel energized after I do them. I could be super tired before I start, and then I do this and I have like tons of energy because I just love it. It doesn't make for the best business sometimes because I just want to help people. Oh, look who came out. Dun, 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 dun. Why did I just do that? Dun, 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 dun. Charge. I feel like that's his energy. He wants to charge forward towards you. And we've already picked up on this week. A masculine wanting to come towards a feminine. And working through his own stuff around feeling worthy, maybe emotionally mature or stable enough. But I felt like this was collective. Yeah, this card came up too. The first 6 cards I pulled, I felt like was collective for both. The Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is what is happening here. That's his energy, this is hers. The King of Cups is working on not feeling like the wounded warrior, or making it through the cycle to the end where he finally puts the burdens down. That's what happens with the 10 of Wands, is you're feeling overburdened, but you can finally put them down. You also realize they're not all yours. This, the Wounded Warrior, is kind of like the victim card a little bit, because what's funny is because this is also considered like a victim card, and this is the same position for the feminine energy right underneath, which is, this is more about like money. This is more about more like bruised ego, like someone people not treating you very nicely and you allowing it to affect you. Or maybe it's like creative loss too. So that's what he's working on. And then we have for him also the 4 of Cups, which is being discontent or like getting a lot of offers but not liking any of them. So you see how he's not paying attention to this cup that's being offered to him. It's like nothing being good enough. But I feel like that's more of like a defense mechanism, especially if he's feeling like the wounded warrior. And you see that he has, but see, this is why I think he's working on these things, because these are how it's looking at me, is like, this is him and he's got his back to these two energies. So he is working on not feeling like the wounded warrior, oh, the woe is me type energy. Poor me, this happened to me in the past, this person treated me this way, that kind of thing. Looking at the loss and feeling wounded, and working on not feeling, but this, because of that, I feel like this is the energy he's been in, is like not being open, basically. That's what it is, not being open emotionally to the offers that are coming to you, even if they're really good offers. When it comes to people coming into your life and saying, hey, like, you know, giving you that love and nurturing and attention that you've been craving. My flower's wilting. I'll just keep turning it. I get distracted. Hold on. This happens all the time. Let's see. Better. Okay. Then we have the feminine, and here she is, in her Queen of Cups energy, and she's showed up like this already this week. Because she's nurturing, compassionate, she's open emotionally, she's receptive. So what she's working on, and again, her back is to this energy, and these people are walking away. So I feel like because I feel like this doesn't represent who she actually is. This is an energy she's identified with, or she's taken on from her family lineage, or just from her conditioning around her. Oh, okay. Strength. Let me grab it. Fell. Oh my god. Hold on. And so what she's working on is developing the inner strength. Oh gosh, to tame the beasts within. Basically, I feel like any way that this shows up in her life, which is lack and scarcity, she's working on developing the strength to look at it, to face it, because what I'm seeing is these two cards facing each other. It's almost like facing it head on. Like, whereas before maybe she would have turned her back on it or been avoidant, especially maybe with money issues, is she's facing it head on, and she's looking at it and saying, you're not going to control my life anymore. I'm not going to feel like this anymore because it's shitty, and that doesn't have to be who I am, because it's not. You know, she's realizing her abundance. Let's look at, let's get like a few more, see if there's anything else that wants to come out. Then we'll move to the Judgment. Judgment. So Judgment's about resurrection, second chances, things that were okay. So, and justice. Wow, Judgment and justice. So aspects of ourself that were once dormant. To me, sometimes this is the Judgment card, resurrecting those things, and I feel like that's what maybe both of them are doing in order to embody these King and Queen energies. And then we have Justice, which is balancing the karmic scales. Could also be legal matters, Libra energy. We also have Leo with strength. We could have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces with the Queen of Cups. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius with the Queen of Wands. Judgment, I'm not sure, has one. The Chariot is Cancer. And I think that's it. I'll check on Judgment though. So Justice is about balance and also love and harmony, but like keeping peace. So they're both learning how to resurrect aspects of themselves in order to, like I said, embody those two energies, get away from these icky, yucky ones that have maybe controlled their life before, or snuck up and you know, messed up relationships for them, or whatever they're trying to create in their life. And they're learning their lessons, and they're attempting to create some kind of karmic balance, or it's, you know, like it's restoring balance, basically. It's the time for them to resurrect, to awaken these aspects of themselves. For the feminine, maybe this is what she's struggled with, like the Cups energy, being super emotionally available, receptive, nurturing, compassionate, being outwardly that, like embodying that. Maybe this is what the masculine has struggled with, which is passionate, fiery, he's in charge, he's confident, all of those types of energies. Okay, let's get into, I'm going to do my earth magic These are my Earth Magic cards. Let's get one for the masculine, one for the feminine. Veiled, fog, not sure which is which, and ocean, ebb and flow. Okay, so yeah, so the ocean is for the feminine, this one's for the masculine. So fog, I feel like for the masculine, it's been more about things that haven't been clear for him, like how to move forward, what to do, how, like he knows the changes, like he knows what he wants, but he hasn't been super clear on how to achieve it. So let's read this one. So what advice do we have for the feminine? I mean the masculine. You are enmeshed in confusion and uncertainty and are unsure if it will ever clear up. This is not the best time to make decisions, particularly any major ones. Know that this foggy veil will eventually dissolve. Although there may be ways you are unconsciously contributing to the state, the greater truth is that this is simply a cycle you are moving through, and like all things, this too shall pass. Allow yourself to feel confused. In fact, decide to be confused. No matter what attempts you make right now to make things happen or move in any specific direction out of impatience or frustration, you risk only creating more confusion and uncertainty. So be still and patient. Wait for that first glimmer of awareness to lift the veil so that you can see the choices before you more clearly, and can then choose to align yourself with the will of spirit. So again, that pausing energy is, I think, the message for the masculine. Could be for the feminine too, but taking a pause, taking a rest, you know, I feel like maybe it's impatience. There's some impatience on the masculine's part because he wants things to be a certain way at a certain time, and that's just not happening for him. And maybe he's afraid he's going to lose his feminine or lose out on something, but that which is meant for us will never pass us by. So yeah. All right, ocean, ebb and flow. So this is for the feminine because she already came out as the Queen of Cups. So let's see what she's working on and the advice for her. Oh my gosh. Okay. An important aspect in the art of living is to move with the ebb and flow of your emotions, joining their fluidity but not being captured by it. It is also not necessary to become obsessed with any particular fluctuation in mood or feeling. There are simply emotions often activated in ways that are completely beyond your understanding. When you neither minimize nor exaggerate the intensity and importance of your emotions, you then have a greater sense of when and how to express them. You have been fighting the ebb and flow of your own feelings, denying your hurt, anger, or sorrow, by either attaching yourself to one or the other and nurturing it as if it were a nursing child, or else smoothing over your feelings with more practical responses that deny and hide what is going on beneath the surface of your expression. When you attempt to constrict yourself from experiencing your emotions, it is much like trying to stem the tides that grow even more forceful with every attempt humans make to control them. Allow yourself to swim with these variations rather than resisting them. So if, you know, the feminine energy is having difficulty embodying this Queen of Cups energy, then that she's probably resisting that. She's not super in touch, or maybe she's in touch with her emotions, she feels things, but she's not great at not attaching herself to them. So take that message as some help and some guidance, some advice on how to handle your emotions if that's what you're experiencing. Sometimes I have to talk it out with people and remind myself, like, okay, I don't need to get sucked into this. I don't need to try to fix it. Sometimes we just feel things just to feel it, and we don't fully understand why we feel it until like years later, you know. Sometimes it happens, and I think it's just this both counterparts, masculine and feminine, wanting to control things and it to go a certain way. And yeah, sometimes it's super inconvenient to be triggered or to get angry or to feel a certain way, and you're trying to do something and it's just not working out, and that's frustrating. Both are maturing and learning how to let go of control and resistance and just trust the divine plan and that things are happening the way that they should. So let's get one animal for the masculine, one for the feminine. This is my Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. These are absolutely beautiful. If you don't have this, I highly suggest it. I have this song stuck in my head, and I don't even know the words to it. So it's just like, I couldn't even sing it to you. I hear it on TikTok a lot, and I hear it on the radio now a lot. I don't even want to try to hum it. I end up sounding retarded when I do. I say that in the most loving way. I don't give a shit. I'm not trying to be mean to myself like I really do. Sound, I'm going to eat a peach. I should get myself to be quiet. Those two. I really want to listen to it though. Now, Sandpiper spirit, be playful. And parrot spirit. Interesting. Watch your words. I'm feeling like this is more the feminine in order to open herself up emotionally. I feel like this is more for the masculine because when we're wanting to intentionally create, we have to be really careful about what we say and the words that we like put out. Honestly, I think that's the message. So let's read for the masculine first. Also, I love this because they're sitting, so like I have like masculine here, feminine here. And just as we've been picking up on, is he wants to come and talk to her, right? Oh, also about communication and parrots and words. I feel like this is also maybe what he's working on, like when he wants to come communicate with her. But in order for her, like if she wants this to open up the space for this to happen, for him to come and communicate with her and whatnot, she has to get into an energy of being open and playful and happy, and so that this makes total sense to me. And see how he's like coming up behind her, so like she has no idea he's even coming. I love that. All right, parrot spirit. Where are you? Oh, here we go. Okay. What are you saying to yourself? What message are you repeating? Is it something that makes you feel good about yourself and reminds you of your strengths and potential? Parrots mimic the sounds around them, and when parrot spirit appears, it is time to be more mindful of your self-talk and its qualities. What do you say to others? Are you repeating what you truly believe? Remembering to speak with light and love can become a habit. Be generous with compliments and thanks, affirming all that is good so that your loving, healing words will be heard throughout the jungle. Cutting through the noise and inspiring others. Listen for the words that remind you of all the strength, abundance, and joy in your life and in the world around you, and then repeat them, affirming what is real, true, and nurturing to the soul. The universe will reflect back to you the story you tell. Words matter, so choose ones that lift you up and inspire others to remember that beauty surrounds us. So I really feel like that's what the masculine's working on, is basically law of attraction 101. I don't think it's necessarily what you yes, what you think, but like we can still think things and kind of stop it in its tracks and then kind of take it in another direction. But what we speak and what we write down, and that has more power than just our thoughts. And I think that the masculine's learning that lesson right now. And also how you are with other people, the things you say to other people. Do you apologize? Do you catch yourself if you're being a little too negative? Do you question the words and the phrases and things that you say and where it's coming from? All right, sandpiper spirit, be playful. Sandpipers are like cute little clowns poking their beaks into the sand before darting off to chase the waves. The appearance of sandpiper spirit is a sign that now is a time. Sorry for my reading. It just is like horrendous, isn't it? I don't know. Okay. The appearance of sandpiper spirit is a sign that now is a time to engage your playfulness. Whatever tasks you have before you, perform them with the lightness of being. Explore the familiar, discovering the new in the old. Who knows what treasures await you when you let yourself laugh and have fun. Sandpaper spirit's happy and curious nature can help you to feel rejuvenated as you remember your ability to run and fly and dance playfully. So something that one of the biggest lessons for the feminines, and especially like I feel like I'm talking twin flame journey here, because these are the lessons that you learn, is like if you want something, you have to let go, you have to focus on yourself, you have to enjoy yourself, you have to live your life that makes you feel fulfilled and happy, and that's when things start to come to you. If you stay at home and pout and bitch and moan and complain and don't have fun and you're just waiting for something to happen, it's never going to happen. Like, that's one of the biggest lessons for feminine energy, I feel. Okay, so this is my vintage wisdom oracle. And again, I'm going to get one for each. I mean, I don't use this deck a lot. I like it, though. Sometimes I don't, and then sometimes I do. That one, I go through phases. And that one. Just as the cards said. Release and harmony. Yeah, so definitely masculine, release, I'm feeling. Or take it as it resonates for you. This is just how I'm interpreting things. And for the feminine, harmony. Again, looking up, just kind of getting lost in her own, whatever makes her feel harmonious. I feel like that's a huge message for the feminine. Okay, let's read these, or some of it, because they're kind of long sometimes. Okay, release. Okay, the presence of this card highlights the need to let go. For example, in relinquishing the comfort of old habits and attachments to goals and future outcomes. The unpredictability of future, potential threats to our worldly identity, and our attachment to outcomes can all play a role in holding us back or keep us blinded to more appropriate opportunities. Again, blinded, veiled, remember, with the masculine. Notice these areas in your life and use the supportive energy of this liberating card to help you face and dissolve any influences preventing you from reclaiming your authentic power. Beautiful. So there's something that the masculine's working on in his life. He has to let go. I feel like it's an old way of being, or like I said, the feeling like something needs to go a certain way. Trying to figure that out too. These cards are saying a similar message there. Okay, harmony. Gosh, I always want to do shorter readings and it never works out that way. I just talk a lot. There it is. Okay. This card depicts a solitary Orpheus, musician to the gods, playing his lyre in a secluded temple. The 7 strings of the instrument correspond to various planets, and the sides represent the relationship between heaven and earth. The melodies Orpheus created were said to enchant and unify all animals, birds, and beings. Lots of birds, too. When we had sandpiper and parrot come out, and those are both birds. Swallows dart and dive overhead against a canvas of indigo night sky. In the human aura, the color blue represents healing and takes on a sacred significance in many ancient and iconic religious paintings. By drawing this card, you are asked to release, there's a release here, any possible feelings of conflict, judgment, or isolation by attuning yourself to the encompassing frequencies of harmony. Bear in mind that in musical terms, there is a vital place for unison and dissonance, and the dance between them makes for a colorful and original composition. Furthermore, a shared appreciation of both aspects is essential between the players, and so it is with life. The art of listening, whether to the needs of others, the voice of nature, or the silence of your own soul, is essential to discovering your unique part in the great symphony of life. That was a lot to read. Again, where it's like the ebb and flow, the back and forth, they're talking about like there's a vital place for unison and dissonance, and that happened with the ebb and flow card. That reminds me of the ebb and flow. Like, these are just like on point today. Spirit on point. So if you have any questions about these messages, my crystal cards, please email me or leave a comment here on YouTube. My email is down below, but it is empoweringyourouthenticity@gmail.com. If you want to book a personal reading with me, go to my website, www.empoweringauthenticity.com, where you can book directly there. I have different types. These two want to come out. Yeah, let's see what they are. Ooh, Hiddenite and Quartz. I'm going to go with the quartz first. What it is: among the most abundant minerals on the planet, clear quartz is everywhere, but it's far from basic. A master manifester, quartz is programmable, so give it a job to do and get busy. Who needs it? Rock hounds. Quartz intensifies the power of all the stones in your crystal collection. Geminis. Where to put it: between your eyebrows during meditation. When to use it: when you find yourself believing the limitations your mind puts in front of you. Call on quartz to help you see through the illusions, clear the mind of self-doubt, surrender to the will of the universe, and start manifesting the impossible. So use this to enhance your vision. I feel like this is for the masculine. I love quartz. I'm wearing a quartz right now. And actually the bigger one I usually use is quartz too. That's my totem mineral guide. Anyways, amethyst is my spirit mineral. So hiddenite, what it is: a variety of spodumene. Hiddenite's green aura emanates the warm and fuzzies. If you tap into the stone's frequency and feel the buzz, you must have a big heart. Use it. Yes, definitely for the feminine, tapping into your heart. Who needs it? French existentialists, future trippers, bad romantics. Where to put it: hiddenite, like its cuddly pink cousin kunzite. I don't say kunzite, it sounds like I'm saying another word. Should be aimed at the heart. When to use it: when you find yourself stuck in the past or too focused on the future. Hiddenite is down to make the most of every moment. If you're in a rut, call on hiddenite to help you love your way out of it. Claim your happy place. So a lot for the feminine to go with the flow, ebb and flow in your emotions. Try to tap into your joy and your happiness and harmony more often than your sadness and your anger and your hurt. And for the masculine, it's about releasing old behaviors and patterns and choosing words more intentionally, and allowing yourself to be confused. Like, you can't have all the answers. My poor flower's wilting some more. You can't have all the answers all of the time. And I think that as a masculine, sometimes he may want to control. I feel like both of these counterparts have some, I won't say issues, but like control things that they're working on in different areas of their life. But definitely you don't want to control what's happening. And again, enhance your vision. If you're having trouble in seeing clearly, get a clear quartz crystal. They're inexpensive. And use it if you believe in that kind of stuff. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Follow me on Instagram at Empowering Authenticity. And if you want to work with me, follow the link below. I'm sending you love. Bye.